Peace, 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 peace. As I always like to quote from the books of Bereshit, or what we call Genesis, through thy seed, all families of earth shall be blessed. So peace to all humanity. I have the phone lines open. If you want to call in and have a live conversation, you can call 515-604-9716. Access number 674756. Please call in and join the conversation. Well, I was asked a question the other day about my religion. And it was a friend of the family, and we was having I guess what you would call a religious debate about God and life and things of that nature. And the young lady asked me, she says, well, what are you? What do you believe in God? Or what are you? And I said, I am a juDaic Muslim, or a Jewish Muslim. So she says, what? How can you be Jewish and Muslim? I said, well, the first Muslims was actually mentioned in the Bible. She says, I know. So I'm like, well, and being that you're a Christian, Jesus was a Jew, so it's not impossible to be a Jewish Muslim. So I try to break it down for her. I said, okay, I'm gonna just give you the defined definition. So we have juDaic, or juDaic, which means shall praise, or praise. Then you have MuSlim, which means from peace, from completeness, from sound, from safety, with safety, to submit oneself, to requite, free from fault. All right, so salam means to be complete, sound, safe, secure, free from fault, requite, resign, to submit oneself. So you put an M in front of that, which is a prefix, which means from or with. Then you have with completeness, with safety, with security. All right, so that's praise with safety, with security. To be complete in your praise, in your confession of thanks. Basically, the idea of a juDaic Muslim is an individual who is 100% solely dedicated to the praise and servitude of peace. That's basically what a juDaic Muslim is. And that peace comes from what we call the Torah. And that's basically how I explained it to her. She still didn't get it, and a lot of people don't. How can you be Jewish and Muslim at the same time? So as I was mentioning that the first Muslims was actually mentioned in the biblical text, not the Quran or anything like that, Muslim actually comes from the Hebrews. The first Muslim was mentioned in what I believe is First Kings. So I just want to bring our attention to that scripture of First Kings when it talks about the first Muslims, or the people called Muslims in the biblical text. So you will have to go to, I'm going to show you, Strong's Concordance, James Strong's Concordance, and type in MuSlim. That's MESH ULLAM. That's how you would spell it, being that that's how they pronounce it in the Yiddish. So that would be, they wouldn't pronounce it Muslim. They would, in the Yiddish, they would pronounce it MuSlim. Just to give us a good idea of the fact that a Muslim is actually a Jew. So we can, if I can show you this here, I'm just bringing this in. So you have the Strong's Concordance here, 4918, Muslim. All right, so that's 4918 in your Strong's Concordance for Muslim, right? You see that? Now, the Muslim, you see that here, that's the word right there. Mem. You see that real good? Mem, Shin, Lam, Mem. Okay? Now they pronounce it as MuSlim, but we see it's MSLM. So you just pronounce the consonants. That's Mem, M, Shin, Sh, Lam, L, Mem. MuSlim. Muslim. You see that, right? So when we go back here, so this is the Strong's Hebrew 4918 Muslim. So I just wanted to give you that Strong's Concordance. So I'm going to tap on that Strong's Concordance. Because a lot of the association of the black Hebrew Israelites are under the assumption that Jews are not Muslims. Okay, so 49, going back here. Muslim. The name of a number of Israelites. Okay? Proper name, Muslim. And this says MuSlim, but it's Muslim. What's the origin of that word? It comes from Salim, Shalim. Okay? Okay, this is also, they also have it in the Greek as well. Okay. So the first person to be called a Muslim was the grandfather of Shaphan. And that would be 2 Kings 23. Right? The second one is the son of Jerubbaal. Right? So that's the second one, the son of Jerubbaal. Okay, the third one in Benjamin, 1 Chronicles. Well, the second one is the son of Jerubbaal, 1 Chronicles 3:19. Then we have 2 Chronicles 8 and 17. Oh, that's 1 Chronicles, excuse me. 1 Chronicles 8 and 17. 1 Chronicles 9 and 7. 1 Chronicles 9 and 18. Nehemiah 11 and 7. In Gad, there was someone named MuSlim. In 1 Chronicles 5 and 13. The wall builders, people that built the wall. Okay? The wall builders, chiefs, Nehemiah 3, 4 and 30, Nehemiah 3 and 6, a chief, Nehemiah 10 and 21, priest, also were named MuSlim. All right? Just to show you. Okay, so Ezra. Now, what does Muslim mean, according to Strong's Concordance? So Muslim from Salam means allied. And it is the name of 17 Israelites. And it comes from the Hebrew word Shalem. So I'm going to tap on that. And Salam means amends. Salam. Amends or make amends. Or to be complete. To be finished. To make an end of. Alright, so we're going to go. Here's some definitions here. To make amends. To make an end. Finish, full. Give again. Make good. Repay again. A primitive root, to be safe. In mind, body, or estate. Figuratively, to be. Complete. By implication. To be friendly. By extension. To be reciprocate, to make amends, to make an end, finish, full, give, again, make good, repay, again, make to be at peaceable, that is perfect, prosperous, render, requite, restore, reward, restitution, to make restitution, to perform, to prosper, to recompense. All right? So we see that Muslim is a juDaic definition. Now, if we go into the Quran with a hadith, it states that Muhammad was in fact a Jew himself, from the tribe of Banu Najjar. A lot of people don't realize that Muhammad was a Jew himself. So, see if I can get into the hadith. Or at least show that Muhammad's grandmother was a Jew. At least. So let's go to Google. And that tribe of Muhammad's grandmother was Bani Najjar. Banu Najjar. Now, Banu Najjar was a Jewish tribe that lived in Medina in the time that Muhammad left Mecca and made Hajj to Medina and settled there. And he lived among his Jewish family and he prayed towards Jerusalem for about 16 or 17 months. So I just want to show you here in the Wikipedia, and the tribe is called Banu Najjar, okay? Were a Jewish tribe who lived in Medina in the time of Muhammad. They are the ones of the tribe's name in his charter of Medina. He had a war. Muhammad went to war with the Jews. Also, see if I get this light out the way. Okay, Banu Najjar were also the maternal tribe of Muhammad's grandfather, Abdul Muttalib. Muhammad initially settled with them when he emerged from Mecca to Medina. The Prophet's mosque was later built in the same location. During this period, most of the tribes converted to Islam. And these are the people here that Muhammad dealt with. Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, Salam bint Milham, Zayd ibn Thabit. Okay? So that just gives you just a little clarification that Muhammad was in fact Jewish in some form or fashion. His family was. So that means the first Muslims were what? They were Jewish. Definitely is Muhammad's maternal tribe. His father's grandmother was Jewish. So that means his father was Jewish, and that means that Muhammad, in fact, was Jewish. So that's one aspect of where I go to when I tell people, well, I'm a Jewish Muslim. So a Jewish Muslim, by definition, is an individual who conducts himself or feels that they are safe and secure in praise. In praise to the Most High is their safety and their security. As long as they are dedicated to prayer and praise of the Most High. And that is what a juDaic Muslim is. So now that we dealt with what a juDaic Muslim is, what does a Judaic Muslim believe? Now that we know what a Judaic Muslim is. In essence, a Judaic Muslim believes in the Torah. It follows the direction and instruction of the Torah, meaning that we will not steal from another individual. We would not murder an innocent individual. We would not desire the property or the lifestyle or the concubine or the husband or the wife of another individual. We honor our earthly parents. We're dedicated to preserving peace and life, equality, and overall knowledge and understanding of how to coexist with one another in harmony. That's the main objective of a Judaic Muslim, which is no different from the objective of a Jew, someone who professes Judaism, or someone who professes Christianity. Ultimately, it's all about world peace and coexisting with others in a harmonious and peaceful manner, without strife or war or wickedness. To liberate oneself in the light of Allah, being that Allah is the God of the Jews. And this is according to Exodus chapter 3, verse 15. So I'm going to just try to show us that real quick. To show that Allah is the deity, or the name of the deity, or at least the name that we should call our Creator. And that is Exodus (3) and 15. Well, 3:14 through 15, to be honest. So I'm going to start at 3:14. I have the phone lines open, so if anybody want to just tap on and chat in, we can. The number is 515-604-9716. Access number 674756. The phone lines are open, and I'm always willing and ready to chit-chat about different subjects. Definitely this one, because a lot of people are confused on this belief system. And this belief system will grow bigger. It will get a lot bigger. Because there are a lot of Muslims and Jews that would like to coexist with one another, but for some reason the people that are ruling over the religion is causing a lot of division and a lot of strife between Muslims and Jews and Christians, and it's basically all the same belief. Even Jesus believed in Allah. That was the name of his God, was Allah. And this is what he expressed when he was on the cross, being crucified. And he called out to his father, and he called out to Allahi. And what compelled me to talk about this is because I had a discussion with a family friend. So in Exodus chapter 3, so we're going to go to Exodus chapter 3, verse 13. It's a good verse. In this verse says, "And said Moses unto God, Behold, I am going unto the sons of Israel, and shall say to them, now, I just want you to look at this. In the Hebrew, anyway, or the Yiddish. Now it says, and say to them, so that's way Maruk, or wa muk arti, wa mukarti, lahim, Allahi. So the God, it's right here. Allahi. See that? See, it's a little fuzzy there. The God is Allahi. Okay? The God of your father. So it says Allahi Abutikim. Abutikim. Alright, so Allahi, the God of your fathers. Allahi. Okay? This is not only. Also, it goes on to say, so he says, what shall I tell them? When I go and tell them, Allahi, the God of your fathers, has sent me, what do I say? So he goes on to say, I am that I am, right? And he also says, you shall also say, we should also say, the Lord, Allahi, Abatikim, Allahi, Abraham, Allahi, Yishyak, Wallahi, Yaakov. So he says, moreover, read this from the verse. Now you see the Yahweh, but I always explain that that's not his name. But he says, and say moreover, now it says Elohim, unto Moses, thus you say unto the sons Israel, now this says Yahweh, Allahi. So it says Yahweh, right? But then it says Allahi. They should say what? You should say unto the sons of Israel. Now this one has the Lord. Now the Lord, which is Yahweh, that's what they got is Yahweh. Okay? But I broke down Yahweh plenty of times. Check out my open group called Hakim. And scroll down, you will get to a lecture I have on the names of the God of Abraham. And I break down Yahweh. But this I'm talking about is to show that Allahi, he tells us to call him Allahi. He says, you shall say unto the sons of Israel. Now it says Yahweh, the Lord, Allahi, of your fathers, Allahi, Abraham, Allahi, Yishak, Wallahi, Jacob. So what is the name of God? Allahi. What does he say? Moreover, you should say, what? Moreover, let me scroll up. He said unto Moses, thus you shall say unto the sons of Israel, the Lord, Allahi, of your fathers, Allahi, Abraham, Allahi, Yishak, Wallahi, Jacob. So, if we go on Allahi, because that is the name. That's the name he says call. We also have, let's see, have other examples of Allahi. Genesis 9:26. Be the Lord, the God of Shem. Allahi. Now this is what I was saying about the Yahweh. You see how they have Yahweh right there? In Genesis 9:26. What is Yahweh doing in the age of Genesis 9:26 when Noah was speaking upon his sons? Noah did not worship Yahweh. Yahweh, that name was not in existence at that time. So why is it in Genesis 9:26? Also we have Genesis 24:3. Allahi, by the Lord God of, let's go up. By the Lord God of heaven. So what is God called? Allahi. Swear the Lord, the God of heaven, the God. So this is Genesis 24:3, which uses the word Allahi. Also, Allahi is used all throughout the Torah. The God, Allahi. Now you see all these Yahweh. Yahweh is not supposed to be Yahweh. The name itself was not given until we just read it in Exodus 3, right? So why is Yahweh all in Genesis 24 and all this stuff? This shows you they just put Yahweh in there. But Genesis 24:12. O Lord, the God of my master, Weimar Yahweh Allahi Anaki. Or what word is that? Maybe I'm fuzzy myself. Adoni, which is my master. Adonai, how they say Adonai, they elongated Adonai, but Allahi, Adonai, or Allahi, Adoni. But the name of the Lord, or God, is what? Allahi. So we got Genesis 24:7. Be the Lord, the God of my master, Allahi. Let's see here. And this was Genesis 24 when the servant was going to find a wife for Isaac. Genesis 24:42. O Lord. Now, Genesis 24:42 is not supposed to have Yahweh in it. Yahweh was not supposed to come into existence until the Exodus, to the time of Moses. So what is it doing in the beginning of Genesis? That's what I keep trying to tell people. They put it in there. Check out my lecture on the names of the God of Abraham. But we see Allahi. Right? Genesis 26:24. And said, I am the God of your fathers. Who is the God of our fathers? Allahi. Genesis 26:24. Allahi. So we see, and then when we go to Exodus, what did God say? He said, and said, moreover, and said, moreover, Exodus 3:15, and said, Weimar, moreover, Aid, Elohim, which means gods, it's not, unto Moses, thus you shall say unto sons of Israel. Now here we go with the Yahweh. But, so after Yahweh you have what? Allahi. Abetikim, your fathers. Allahi. Abraham. Allahi. Yishyak. Wallahi. Yaakov. So what does he tell Moses? He says, moreover, you tell them to say Allahi. Allahi, or Allah, is Strong's Concordance for, now let me go back, because Elohim is a pluralization, which means gods, which are basically mortal human beings, people that have some type of power. We are all gods. He was created in the image of God. So we are all gods. According to Moses, he says that Allahi, he is the God of gods and the Lord of lords. I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to bring that up in a minute for us. But to show that we are the Elohims, not the Most High. So you see his Strong Concordance. You can see that real good. Allahi is Strong's Concordance 430. All right, so Allahi is Strong's Concordance 430, if you can see that there. 430. So I'm going to tap on that. And I'm going to show you how they try to trick us here. Let me see if I can get a little closer here. Okay. There we go. All right, 430. The God, Allahi. So I'm going to tap on 430. Let's see what they bring up. They're going to bring up Elohim to throw you off, see? They bring up Elohim, which is a pluralization of Allahi. Now they say, this is how they trick you, because they don't want you to know that Muslims are really Jews and Jews are really Muslims. So they give word origin plural of Allah. So I'm going to tap on Allah. So here's Allah. So what did they do? All they did was put a wav in between the lamb and the hay to make it, to elongate. Instead of saying Allah, it's Allah, 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 right? But then it says it's shortened, Allah. Okay, you see that, right? You see how they try to flip you up, which comes from, it all comes from El, okay? Make that bigger. So word origin, El. Okay, that's what they tell you. So I want to go back to Allah. 430. All right. Or Allahi. Because that's what it is. It's Allahi. Okay. So that is the name that we are supposed to be calling if we are not calling the actual name of the God of Israel, then we should be calling on Allahi. So I'm going to tap on 430 again. It's going to bring up Elohim. So what you would have to do is you would have to do some, you have to go a little extensive. So I'm going to have to put in Allah. They don't want you to know, they don't want us to come together. They don't want us to be Jewish Muslim. This is why I'm a juDaic Muslim. Because I know that being Jewish and being Muslim is the same thing. Basically being Christian, Jewish, and Muslim is all the same thing. It's almost all the same type of belief, just different variations. Okay, now, what was those that follow the New Testament, those Hebrews that follow the New Testament, that follow Jesus? Now, those that are well versed in the Gospels know that Jesus really didn't refer to the name of his father. He always just said, I speak the words of my father, my father, my father, my father, my father, my father, Abi. Abi, 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 right? So, it wasn't until Jesus was actually on the cross that he spoke out the name of his father. In that name, because we know that the Gospels was written in Greek, okay? Really, the Old Testament, the whole biblical canon was written in the Septuagint, which is the Greek. But the Old Testament wound up being changed by the Yiddish community into their language and classified as, original Hebrew. But all of the biblical text was written in the Septuagint. The Masoretes or the Masoretic text came as a copy of the Septuagint. All right, and the Masoretic text came from the Septuagint. So the Septuagint is actually the original, the Greek form of the Old Testament and New Testament is actually the original language of the Bible. The Masoretic text and anything after that is basically a recopy, a retranslation of the Septuagint. Okay, so in Strong's, in the Greek Strong's, we see here, we see Allahi or Elohi. This is how they would spell it, which is Allah. Which means it says, my God. Okay? This is the God that Jesus called upon. Bring that scripture up. So what it says here, and it says the word origin, Aramaic origin, Allah, pronoun suf. So you can tap on that to let you know Allah. So I just tapped on that. Allah, God, which is 426 in your Hebrew Strong Concordance. Allah means God, which is Aramaic corresponding Eloh. You see how they flip it up on us? They said that Elohim was the plural of Allah. Now when we get to Allah, here, 426, Strong's Concordance number 426, when we get to Allah, it goes and says that it's the word origin comes from the Aramaic corresponding to Allah. Corresponding to Allah. Not that it is Allah. See how they flip that up? So, you know, you got to be well versed. But Allah, absolute. Okay, it's mentioned in Daniel, Ezra. Mostly in Daniel, Ezra. God, corresponding to Allah. God, okay? So let me go back to the Greek Allahi, because that was the God of Jesus. So let's see if I can bring up the scripture. And we have it. Mark 15 and 34. Mark 15 and 34, right? I'm gonna tap on that so I can read that. This for my, because we got to. I'm doing this because I am a Judaic Muslim, but all the three major religions of Judaism, Islam, and Christianity stems from the same branch of belief. And it's the people that are actually leading us that is causing all this division and everything. So we got to find a way to come together. That's the whole purpose, right? That's the only way we're going to be redeemed. Is if we come together. So we have to, kind of break these walls of division down, being that, we're pointing a finger. Oh, you're a Muslim. Oh, you're a Christian. You believe in Jesus. Oh, you're a Hebrew. We don't want to hear about that. When it all stems from the same monotheistic Abrahamic belief. So it really makes no sense for us to be beefing and arguing and fighting and disagreeing with each other in the aspect that we do. When we can, the alliance is so easy to show within the faith. And this is why I am a Judaic Muslim. Because I want to show that there is no separation. Now, I could say I'm a Judaic Christian Muslim. I could say that because to be a Christian is to anoint yourself with olive oil, according to the Torah. That's what anointing is. And according to the Greek, Messiah or Christ means to be anointed with olive oil. And according to the Torah, one of the laws is to anoint ourselves daily with olive oil. So if you are wiping your skin down, you're anointing your head and your whole body from your head to your feet in olive oil. Wouldn't that consider you anointed or a Christ, a Messiah? So the direction in the Torah to anoint yourself with olive oil daily is, in essence, giving you a Christian title. You're a Christian. You just anointed yourself with olive oil. You are now a Christian. You are Christ. You are a walking Christ. You are a walking Messiah. You are a walking individual who is anointed, because you have anointed yourself with oil every day. So we're supposed to be Christians anyway, because we're supposed to anoint ourselves with oil daily. Okay, so going into the New Testament of Mark 34, just to show that Jesus believed in Allah as well. Mark 34, 15 and 34. So this is the Greek. Okay. And it says, and, see, let me get this bigger here. Okay. And at the 9th hour, cried out Jesus with a voice loud, Elahi, Elahi, lama sabachthani, which is translated, God of me, to why have you forsaken me? So who did Jesus believe in? Let's go back up. Elahi. So this is the Greek, how they would spell it. So let's tap on, and that is the Strong's Concordance 1682. So I'm going to tap on that. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Well, I could do that because it shows twice. 2 in Mark. Mark 15:34. Right? So the 2 times that it explains that Jesus called out Elahi. So I'm going to tap on the Strong's Concordance number just to see in the Hebrew what was Jesus crying out to. So I tapped on it. 1682. It comes up. Elahi, Elahi, which means my God. Okay. Word origin, Allah. Allah. So, who did Jesus believe in? Who did he call out to? He called out to Allah. So, okay, let's go back. Let me see if I can go back to Exodus 3. I'm going to go to Exodus 3 and 13. I just want to show that calling on Allah is nothing what they would consider pagan or you're a moon worshiper or a rock worshiper, which I had broke down about worshiping and serving rocks. And I mean, all of the patriarchs set a stone as a remembrance or a landmark, and he poured oil on that stone, and that stone was a landmark for them to come back to visit, to pour oil on, libation, to sit down and eat. So Jacob had a stone and he poured oil on that stone, and I'm going to bring that up as well. Definitely for those that say Muslims are stone worshippers and all that. According to the Torah, if someone put a stone as a landmark, and it's a sin to move that stone. So let's say that the Kaaba, which is a stone, is a landmark in Mecca. It's just a landmark that people make a pilgrimage to. So to remove that landmark is a sin according to the Torah. So a stone is a mark for the land. It's a landmark. So if someone was to move that landmark, that's a sin in the Torah. So it's not really stone worship or pagan worship. It's just a object placed there to mark a certain point in someone's travel, someone's life, or to mark a point in someone's settling or some type of event. All right, so let's go back to Exodus. I want to go to Exodus 3 and 13. All right, Exodus 3 and 13. We see, let me move this over here. And said Moses, now God, they have Elohim, which I'm going to show that God is not Elohim, but we are Elohim. But it says, Elohim, behold, I am going unto the sons of Israel, and shall say to them, Allahi of your fathers, Abutkim, Allahi Abutkim of your fathers sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, what is his name? What shall I tell unto them? Fast forward, next verse. And said Elohim unto Moses, I am who I am. And he said, thus you shall say to the sons of Israel, I am has sent me. Next verse, 3:15. And said moreover, Elohim, unto Moses, thus you shall say unto the sons of Israel. Now it says Yahweh, right? But I already showed how in Genesis, the 9th chapter, it has Yahweh in there. Noah did not know Yahweh, so I have proved that Yahweh has been infused, and it's a whole situation with that. But for the sake of argument, I'm gonna just use keep it in here because this is what it says. So it says the Lord, Allahi. So let's read this again. You shall say unto the sons of Israel, the Lord, Yahweh. But God, Allahi, Abitakim. Allahi, Abraham. Allahi, Yishak. Wallahi, Jacob. So what is the name he asking Moses to tell the people? Allahi, the God of Isaac. So what are they supposed to call him? The God of Israel, the Lord God of your fathers. Isn't that what he came and told Jacob? I am the God of your fathers. I am Allahi of your fathers. All right, now going to the fact that the Most High is not Elohim. Okay, because a lot of us have this belief that saying that God is Elohim, that's a pluralization. You're saying gods, or you're calling mortals God, and that's against the first commandment, really, you know. So God of gods. I believe this is in Devarim or Deuteronomy. Because he says he is God of gods and Lord of lords. And we are the Elohims. Okay, that is Devarim or Deuteronomy 10 and 17. Deuteronomy 10 and 17. For the Lord your God is God of gods and Lord of lords, the great God, mighty and awesome, who shows no partiality and accepts no bribes. All right, so I'm going to go into the interlinear version, which is the Yiddish. They take it to the Yiddish from the English to the Yiddish. Just a side note, English is actually older than Yiddish. All right, so here we go. Key for Yahweh, your God, but look at what it says, your God. Allah, Allahikim. Allahikim. Your God is Allah. Allahikim. See that? Your God. He, Allahi, what does that say? He, Allahi, Ha Elohim. Ha Elohim. He, God, gods. Wa Adani, Ha Adaniim. So who is the lords? Who is the Adaniim? Us. He is the Lord of lords. He is the Allahi of the Elohims, because the Ha, or the H in front of Elohim, means the. He is the God of gods. So who is the Elohims? We are the Elohims. He is the God. Allahi. Allahi. Allahi Elohim. God of gods. I just want to give clarity to the fact that Allah, Allahi, Elohim, all are just attributes of speaking of a higher power. That's it. So, just because an individual is calling on Allah or Allahi doesn't make him pagan or moon worshiper. This is what is told for you as a Jew to call on as well. It's right there in your books. All right. So again, as I was saying about the Muslim or MuSlim. This is how they will pronounce it in Yiddish, because they don't want individuals to know that Jews were actually Muslims and Muslims were actually Jews. And as I was saying, excuse me, it's Strong's Hebrew 49:18. MSLM, Muslim. They pronounce it as MuSlim. Okay, so the first Muslims, 4918, they pronounce it as MuSlim. So I'm going to tap on that. Because a lot of people, are confused. Here we go. Muslim. That's what it is. You want to make it bigger. And you can sound it out just by the consonantal letters. Mem. Shin or sin, lam, mem. Basically, M-S-L-M. Pronounce it yourself. Mem. M-Slim. Muslim. Muslim. Is that not what it say? Right there. I don't know how close I could bring it to you. It's right there. So let's see how many individuals were Muslims. Now, Muslim comes from Salam or Shalem. See how they try to mispronounce things or to hide things? So Shalem, I'm going to tap on that to give us a good idea of what this meaning is before we go back to what Muslim means. So, Shalem, a salam, which is Strong's Concordance 7999, means amends, to make amends. Now they say shalom, but the word is salam or salim, which means to make amends. Now you can take that H out of there and what would it be? Salam. So let me go down to the definition. Okay. So this is the definition of it. Of salam or shalem. To make amends, make an end, to finish, full, give again, make good, repay again. A primitive root, to be safe in mind, body, or estate. Figuratively, to be complete by implication. To be friendly by extension. To be reciprocate, make amends, make an end, finish, full, give, again, make good, repay, again, make to be at peaceable, that is perfect, recompense, render, requite, make, restitution, restore, reward, surely. All right, so now we go back because the origin of the word, also means, salim means a covenant of peace. It's a verb, the nominative, to be in a covenant of peace. All right, so we go back up. Now, all you do is put an M in front of that. So let's go back. All you do is put an M in front of that. So if you put an M in front of salam, what do you get? You get Muslim. All you doing is put an M in front of that. That's all you did. That's all you did was put an M in front of that. So one letter is causing us to hate one another. One little letter. Remember, people should come to you whose language you don't understand. So one letter has us fighting with one another. But all you did was put an M in front of it. You see all them dots? They're called nucleus and degets, which are vowel points, which change the... So instead of it saying Muslim, those dots, those vowel points, it would pronounce MuSlim. So you wouldn't think MuSlim, you hear Jews say MuSlim. You wouldn't think he's saying Muslim, but he is. He's just pronouncing it a different way to hide. Okay? So, just wanted to show you that. And I'm talking about this because I am a juDaic Muslim. And I'm going to get into what juDaic means as well. Alright, so this is Strong's Concordance 4918. Muslim. This comes from Salim. We did with that. This is the Greek. Oh, must have tapped on something. Alright, so this will be the Greek way of spelling Muslim. Okay, so let me see if I can get that bigger for us. Alright, there you go. There goes the Greek and the Yiddish. Muslim. And the Greek and the Yiddish. See that? No Arabic? No Arabic. So, okay. Being that we know that the Torah and the kings of Israel existed way before the Prophet Muhammad, the Quran, the Hadith, Islam, all that, right? So we know that Judaism, in essence, existed thousands of years, hundreds of years, maybe not thousands, no, thousands of years prior to Islam. Islam was really the last of the three major religions. And this is why Islam, when you go into the Quran, it talks about Jesus, and it talks about Abraham, and it talks about Joseph, and it talks about Job. But when you go into the Old Testament or the Bible in general, it speaks nothing of Muhammad. The Old Testament speaks nothing of Jesus by name. But you have the books that came after the Tanakh always mentions either the book prior to its coming. So you figure the gospel would mention David and Moses, Gabriel. And the Quran will mention Jesus, Mary, Abraham, Ishmael, Gabriel. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the books that came after the Tanakh had to legitimize its I guess legitimize its book by mentioning prophets and characters from the religious books prior to its creation. I guess, that's just what I would gather that, in order for the Quran to be legitimized as a book that came from some type of divine inspiration, they had to mention, Moses had to be the most mentioned prophet in the whole Quran. In order for the book to be legitimate, it had to mention Abraham, it had to mention Israel, like the Gospels. In order for it to be legitimate in the people's minds and hearts, it had to mention the coming Messiah. It had to mention Moses. It had to mention David. It had to mention Judah. It had to. If it didn't, then it couldn't be looked upon as legitimate. So they had to mention the characters from the Tanakh, from the Old Testament, from the Torah itself, in order to claim its legitimacy as some type of holy book. So saying that, the first Muslim mentioned is in 2 Kings 22:3. First person named Muslim, and that was the grandfather of Shaphan. So the first time a Muslim is mentioned, it's not the Quran, it is not in Islam, and it's not by Muhammad. It is the grandfather of Shaphan. In 2 Kings 22:3. Second time a Muslim, somebody named Muslim, is mentioned is the son of Zerubbabel. These are the Jews who exiled themselves out of Babylon back into Jerusalem, okay, with the help of King Cyrus, okay. And one of those individuals was the son of Zerubbabel, whose name was what? MuSlim and Benjamin. 1 Chronicles 7 and 18. 1 Chronicles 9 and 7. 1 Chronicles 9 and 8. Nehemiah 11 and 7. So let me tap on 1 Chronicles. Let's do 1 Chronicles 8 and 17. First Chronicles 8 and 17 says, and Zebadiah and MuSlim. There you go. And Hezekiah. So these are just naming people, but and Heber. All right. So it just shows you that there were people called Muslim. Now that's 1 Chronicles 8 and 17. Also, we have priests and chiefs. There was a chief that was named a Muslim in Nehemiah 10 and 21. Priests, distinctions in part, obscure. 1 Chronicles 9 and 11. Nehemiah 11 and 11. Nehemiah 12 and 13. 1 Chronicles 9 and 12. Nehemiah 10 and 8, Nehemiah 12 and 6. These are priests. Nehemiah 12 and 33. Levites. 2 Chronicles 34 and 12. Ezra 8 and 16. Ezra 10 and 15. Nehemiah 8 and 14. Nehemiah 12 and 25. Ezra. MuSlim from Salam, alive. The name of 17 Israelites. All right, and these are some variations. MuSlim, 17 times, I use it that way. MuSlim, 7 times. Salam, 1 time. 2 Chronicles, Kings, 22 and 3. 1 Chronicles. So we see that being a Muslim has nothing to do with Muhammad. It has nothing to do with Mecca. But it has everything to do with the Torah. It has everything to do with being Hebrew or Jewish. So let's get into Judaic. So I'm going to type in Judah. In order for us to get the understanding of what Judaic means. So let's see here. So go to the Hebrew, tap on Hebrew. Scroll down here, let's see. Now a lot of times they don't even give you Judah straight up, so let's see. Now they have Ben Yehu. I probably would have to tap on that in order to get Judah. And Yahudah is not the name of Judah, it's actually Judah. I think I explained that before, but okay, so here's Judah. Let me just tap on there so I can get to Judah. So it says probably praise. Okay, now they have Yahudah, which comes from Judah. Okay. So I'm gonna tap on Judah because that's the true name of Judah is Judah. To throw, cast, or to thank. Give thanks, to praise. To confess, confessing, give thanks, thanksgiving, shoot, giving praise, you thank, give praise. Okay, so that's what Judah means. And when Leah, this is a side note, when Leah, the mother of Judah, birthed Judah, she did not know the Creator, She did not worship Yah. Abraham did not worship Yah. Isaac did not worship Yah. Jacob did not worship Yah. Yah came with Moses in the Exodus. So how did Leah, being that Abraham didn't worship Yah, how was she able to put Yah in the front of Judah to make it Yahudah? Because the first person to ever have Yah in his name was named by Moses, and that was Joshua, whose name was Oshia. And he put the Yah in front of that to make it Yahoshua. That was the first person to have Yah put in his name, and he was named by Moses, the prophet who brought Yah to the people. So how did Leah know to put Yah in front of Judah's name, you know, not a thousand years, but many, many generations prior to the coming of Moses? So you see how they put things in there to trick us up. Okay, so, and also, now I'm gonna leave that alone. I ain't gonna talk about that. So we see what Judah means. Hymns of thanksgiving, to shoot thanks, to thanksgiving, throw down praise, to make confession, to glorify, hymns of thanksgiving. All right, that's what Judah means. To give thanks, confess, originally acknowledged, is commonly derived perhaps from gestures accompanying the act. So this is other, even have it in geese. So I'm gonna go down to juDaic, okay? It's a little wordplay I do when talking about juDaic. So you scroll all the way down, right? So you have different variations here of how they use this word in the Strong's Concordance. Different variations of how they would use this word. So I'm going to show you where juDaic is, okay? And I'm going to highlight it, make it big so we can see what it is and what it means. Okay, so here we go. This is the word, well, this is Yahoo. This is not the one, but this is Yahudic. That's not what I wanted to show. This is not the word. This is the word right here. The music you hear in the background is actually an open phone conference. Anybody want to tap in and join into the conversation on live? You can please dial 515-604-9716. That's 515-604-9716. Access number 674756. That's 674756. If you want to join into this live, and if you have anything you want to add, you want to say, call right in, tap right in. So this is right here, juDaic. Yod, Wav, Dalit, Wav, Kaf. So ending Kaf like that. And that will be juDaic. All right. So when we go down, when you scroll down, okay, you get here to these. These are different ways that they use the word. So I'm going to go to juDaic, and that will be right. So we have to look for the Yod. Here we go. So it will be. Let me see. They ain't even have it up here. for juDaic. Just so people could know, because the people should come to us whose language, we don't understand. So a lot of times we get bent out of shape over words that we really don't understand. And this is what, really is causing, us to be divided, or us to debate each other so, at the rate that we debate each other. It's not like we debate each other or argue and then come to some type of agreement. No, it's just like we debate each other, then it's like, and block people. That's what we do. And it's like, where's the unity in that? Where's the gathering in that? There's no gathering in that. We just fighting amongst each other. This is what they want us to do. As long as we're fighting amongst each other, then, they will always rule over us. We will never get to where we need to be as a people. All right, so we have juDaic here. So we see here, this is Genesis 49:8. Your brothers shall praise you. Okay? Your brothers shall praise you. This is Genesis 49:8. This is where they use the word juDaic. Yod, Wav, Dalit, Wav, Kaf, which means shall praise. That's what it means, shall praise. So juDaic means shall praise or shall thank. So a juDaic Muslim means shall praise or shall thank with peace, with security, with wholeness. I shall praise or I shall give thanks with reward, with security, with praise, with peace. I shall praise with peace. I shall thank or shall give thanksgiving with peace. So that's ultimately the concept of our whole belief system, is to actually have peace. That is our religion. Our religion is a religion of peace. So yeah, we are supposed to be what you would consider Muslim. And we are supposed to give thanks all the time. From the rising of the sun to its going down, we're supposed to give thanks. We're supposed to give praise all the time. So to be juDaic is to give praise, to give thanks. And if we do that, and we give praise and we give thanks and we follow the Torah, then ultimately we will have peace. We will be granted peace. So we will be with peace. We will be from peace. So, I mean, that's the purpose of the religion. So when I say I'm a juDaic Muslim, that shouldn't be too foreign to anybody. Like, how can you be that? How can you be that? There's no way you can be. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If you know the purpose of why you are who you are, of your belief. What's the total outcome? What's the meaning of all this if it's not peace? If it's not security, if it's not wholeness to the full? What's the point of believing in anything if it's not going to give you peace? So whatever you believe in, whatever you're a part of, at some point it should grant you peace somewhere. I mean, that's what I would think. You know, that's what I would gather. I want to be in a religion that gives me peace. I mean, this is why I got into it in the first place. Because I wanted peace in my life. I was, you know, if we're going through some type of oppression and affliction, then, I mean, we want peace. We want to walk with peace. We want to be with peace. We want to be granted peace. And if we get that peace, the first thing we're going to do is give praise and give thanks because we have peace, finally. We've been going through such a struggle that we have finally been granted peace. And now that we have it, we give thanks. Isn't that the lifestyle of a Jew anyway? Isn't that what we're supposed to do on a daily basis, is give thanks and praise? That's what I thought. I don't know what everybody else is in it for. Maybe they in it for, I don't know, to congregate amongst people or whatever, to be a part of something. I don't know. But I mean, your faith, the title of your faith should the title of your faith should be the purpose of your walk. You know, that's what I believe anyway. The title of your faith should be the purpose of your walk. So if you're a Christian, then that's your purpose is to do what? Being that a Christian means to anoint. So if your purpose is to wash up with olive oil, what's your purpose? If you're a Christian, then you're supposed to be a savior. You're supposed to be a person that is, you know what I'm saying? You want to save. You're speaking the words to save people, to save them from their guilt, from their wickedness, you know. And the only way to save someone is to speak the word of God. You know, man did not live by bread alone, but by every word of the Most High. So if that's the case, then and you're calling yourself a Christian, then really you're supposed to be like Jesus, an evangelist, a person who goes around trying to save, you know, you're trying to save people. You're trying to tell them and teach them and give them the intelligence to be able to redeem themselves without putting your life, you know, on the line. Like Jesus did. Jesus put his life on the line. And this is why he asked why he was forsaken on the cross. Why have you forsaken me? Because you put your life on the line. You're not supposed to do that. It's against the commandment. You're not supposed to put anybody or anybody's life over your own life. Do not put any other Elohim over me, before me. That's a recitation for the reader. That's a recitation for you to recite to yourself. I will not put any other Elohim before me. It doesn't say do not put any other Elohim before God. It doesn't say that. It says do not put any other Elohim before me. Being that you are a God yourself. Remember, we just read in Deuteronomy, he is the God of God and Lord of Lords. So you are a God. But he is the ultimate God. So who are you to put another individual, another person who is a God? They are an Elohim. So who are you to put them over your life? To feel like these people, this person or these people are better than you, or because they have some type of power over you or some type of wealth over you. So you look up to these people and neglect your own life, or you belittle yourself for the title or somebody else. And this is why we have so many leaders that's leading us astray, because we're putting people over us. We put our presidents over us. We put our council members, our mayors, our teachers, our rabbis, our imams, our camp leaders. All these people we put over us, we look towards these people. For what? They haven't saved us. They haven't taught us anything valuable that we can use. You know, they have. I mean, what have they done? They haven't done anything but cause more confusion and more confusion. We go back every week. Every week we go back for more of the dose of confusion. Okay, in Numbers 6 and 27, when I was saying about peace, and we're supposed to be Muslims. Being that we want to go back to Jerusalem, right? So Jerusalem, Yeru means to teach. Salam means peace, right? So Jerusalem is not an actual place, it's a place of it's a teaching, to teach peace. So if you're from Salim, because the true name of Jerusalem is Salam. We can read that in Psalms. I think it's Psalm 72. The name of Jerusalem is not Jerusalem, it's Salam. And it was named after King Salam, or King Solomon. Okay? So if you're Muslim, you're from Jerusalem. Muslim, Jerusalem, Solomon, Shalom, it's all the same thing. It's the word play. They get us on the word play. That's how they get us, because people have come to us whose language we don't understand. All right, Aaron's blessing. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, The Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. But he says his countenance upon thee and will give thee peace. What is peace? What is the word for peace? So this is the same verse. The word for peace. Oh. Let me go back. Hit the wrong button. All right, so the word for peace is the right one here? Put not my name on the sons of Israel, and I will bless them. Oh, I think I gotta go one more up. Okay, so here we go. This is Numbers 6 and 26. May lift up the Lord his countenance on you and give you. Now, you see how they put shalom here? You see that? See how they just put the wav there. Instead of saying salam, they put the wav in the middle, in between the L and the mem. Right? This is how they trick you. Make you think you all these different words and stuff when it's meaning the same thing. All they did was put a wav there. That's all they did. To make it shalom, or shalom, like that. That's it. That's how they get you. But it's supposed to mean peace. All right, and the Strong's Concordance is 7965. I'm gonna tap on that. (7965) completeness, soundness, welfare, peace. Which, word origin. What's the word origin? Shalem. I'm pretty sure it's 79 up. There we go. 79999. And look, you know what? Before I end this, now that I done broke down what a Judaic Muslim is and what my belief is, which is the Torah, which is the 10 Commandments, really the 613, right? Which is the 10 written and the 603 oral. So shalom comes from the word amends, which is salam. Now I'm going to show you what is Islam, because we all supposed to practice Islam as Judaic Muslims. Because a Muslim is a Jew and a Jew is a Muslim. We done learned that now. So now we can stop discriminating against our Muslim brothers and sisters and start teaching them to stop following Muhammad and follow the Torah. So I'm going to show you Islam. Okay, so I will show you Islam. And Islam is, okay, here we go. Show you what Islam, the word Islam first. You see the salam? You see the yod in front of that? What's that? The yod is always, the yod is sometimes translated as an I, as in Israel, Israel, but also you can translate it with a Y, Yisrael. So you have salam, then you have Islam, or Yislam. See? Okay? So you see that, right? Islam. You see Islam, right? Islam, right? You see it, right? Islam. You see it. It's right there in the Hebrew. So the Jews, they don't want you to know that being a Jew and a Muslim is the same thing. So I just want to show you what Islam means in our belief. So there's one occurrence where it's spoken 4 times. So they have now this one in Job is spelled different, for he performs. So this one in Job, which is Job 23 and 14, is Yislam, because they got the yod in between the lamb and the mem. You can see that real good. Which means, for he performs. Okay, but here we have Islam, which means performs as well. In Proverbs 16:7, he makes, or he performs, okay? Or shalom, shalom, or Islam also means to be at peace with. It's also translated as to be at peace, Islam. Okay? Just to show you that Muslims are Jews and Jews are Muslims. So we go back to Islam. That was only four occurrences with that definition. Now you have Islam again. Now wait, I'm gonna show you, because we just tapped in with shalom. The origins of shalom is 799, which is salam. In Islam, all you're doing is putting a yod in front of the salam. That's all you're doing, is putting a yod in front of the salam to make it Islam. So in your Strong's Concordance, you will see it like this. So you see the Yislam, you have 4 occurrences, 31, then you have 1. So I'm going to go into 31 occurrences. I'm going to tap on that one. So I'm going to tap on that one. Yislam. You see that? The first occurrence, Exodus 21:34. Shall make restitution, or shall make good, shall pay. Exodus 22. And he shall pay, he shall restore. So Islam is to repay or make restitution. You see the word right there. This is Exodus 22:3. Islam. Islam. Also, it means to make restitution, to make good. In Proverbs, you also have it, will be rewarded, he will repay. I'm going to show it to you. You have it in Psalms. Okay, Psalms 37:21. Islam. Let's make that bigger so people can see it. Islam. ISLM or YSLM. Islam. It's in your Tanakh. We are supposed to practice the religion of Islam. And what is the religion of Islam? To repay. Pay back. Psalms 37:21, and this one says, and does not pay back, which is Wallah Islam, or Wallah Islam. Proverbs 6:31, but when he is found, he must repay. So Islam means to repay. But the righteous will be rewarded with prosperity. So it says, Wa'at Sadiqim Islam Tab. But the righteous Islam, does it says righteous Sadiqim? You see that real good? Righteous Islam, good. Proverbs 13:21. Sadiqim Islam Tub, or Tab. Righteous Islam, good. Evil, the righteous will be rewarded. The righteous will be righteous Islam, good. Proverbs 19:17. And he will repay. To the poor, his good will repay. Proverbs 25:22. And the Lord will reward you, Islam. So he will repay wrath according he will repay fury. So Islam means to repay in good or bad. Islam. To the coastlands, he will make recompense. So Islam also means recompense. Ooh, Islam is in Jeremiah. Of recompense, he will fully repay. Repay, recompense, requite, pays back. So, what is Islam? It's a reward for your conduct. So if you do righteously, you will be rewarded from Allah righteously. And that is Islam. If you keep Torah, then you will receive the blessing. If you reject Torah, then you will receive the curse. That is Islam. So do we practice Islam as Jews? Yes, we do. So aren't we Judaic Muslims? Yes, we are. I am a Judaic Muslim. I think with peace. That's how I give thanks, through peace. The same peace that the Creator said, if I follow His laws and commandments, to do them fully, He will grant me peace. He will reward me with blessings. My conduct is almost like what they would call karma. You do something, then karma gonna come back to you. If you do good, karma gonna come back to you good. You do bad, well, it'll come back to you bad. That's Islam. It's the yin and the yang. It's the cycle. That's Islam. Islam is not going to Mecca. Islam is not being a part of the Sunni Islamic religion. Islam has turned into a religion, but that's not the essence of Islam. Islam is the reaction to your actions. That's what Islam is. The reaction to your actions. And we see is right here in the Tanakh of what Islam is and what a Muslim is. We see the first Muslims was in Kings, 2 Kings, 1 Chronicles. We see that juDaic means to praise or to give praise. We see Muslim means to be alive, to be safe, to be secure, to be with peace, to be from peace. In Islam means to be repaid, to be rewarded, to be restituted for your conduct, for your actions. And this is what a Judaic Muslim is. So some ask me, well, do you read the Quran? Yes, I do. The Quran is basically like a book of Psalms and Proverbs. It's a poetic book of inspirational sayings to keep you on the right path with Allah. That's like if you were to read the Psalms of David or the Proverbs of Solomon. It has good sayings to keep you in good spirits, to keep your head focused on the right path. That's all. If you read the Quran, you will find stories in books about Abraham, books about Israel, books about Joseph, books about Jonah. It states that the angel or the messenger Gabriel gave the recitation to Muhammad. I have proved in this live video that Muhammad was actually a Jew. His father's mother was from a tribe called Banu Najjar, which were a Jewish tribe. This is why Muhammad made salat or prayer towards Jerusalem for 2 years before he changed his direction towards Mecca. This is why Muslims their culture seems very, very close to the Hebraic Abrahamic culture. It's more closer to the culture of Abraham than what we call these Jews, these Ashkenazi Jews today, which has no tribal or ethnic or cultural link to those people or even to that way of life. This is why we go to the Muslim stores to get our Jewish kufis in Jewish attire. A lot of us go right to the Muslim store because truly Jews are Muslims and Muslims are Jews. That's the big division. So I hope anyone that was wondering what a shalom shalom my brother Malak, peace to the family, I just hope that I help clarify that my belief as a Judaic Muslim is not different from the belief of all three major religions, and that is that I want peace within myself, with my family, with my fellow neighbors, with my community, with my nation, ultimately with the world. That's the end game. Even in the Gospels, after the whole Revelation events, it's supposed to be 1,000 years of peace. And truly that's what we want. I mean, this is why we identify ourselves as Hebrew Israelites, because we don't have any peace. It was taken from us, according to Deuteronomy 28. It says, among these nations only mean people. Because a nation is nothing but a collection of families. So if a nation is oppressing you, that means it's a collection of families oppressing another collection of families. And among these families, we shall find no ease, neither the sole of our foot shall have rest. But we should moan and groan in the daytime, in the nighttime, because of our oppressors. So the peace that we're looking for, we don't have. And because we don't have this peace, we identify ourselves as the biblical Hebrew Israelites. Because we have no peace. Because we have nothing but struggle and strife. So the end game of all this is not to walk around and say, I'm the chosen, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the chosen of God. If you're chosen, if you are the chosen individual of God, if you are the chosen people of God, then you should have peace, because when he says he put his name on his people and he grants them peace. So if you don't have no peace, then you don't have no God. Your God is not among you because you don't have any peace. For God was among Solomon and gave him peace all the days of his reign. He taught peace. People came from other nations just to hear his knowledge and his wisdom of peace. So to be a Judaic Muslim is to give praise with peace. That's my end game. That's my goal. That's my faith. My faith is in peace. And I give praise and I give thanks for peace. When I have peace in my life, I'll give thanks. When another individual gives me peace, it says that when you when you do the things that please the Lord, he makes even your enemies be at what? Peace with you. That's how you know God is among you, because even your enemies are at peace with you. Yes, I am a Muslim because I am with peace. I want to conduct myself peacefully. And I want to give thanks because I have that peace. We are all supposed to be Muslims. We are all supposed to be Jews. We are all supposed to be Christians. We are all supposed to be anointed. We are all supposed to be messiahs. This is the job for all of us. And that's why I am a Judaic Muslim, because with peace I give thanks. With peace do I speak to my family. With peace do I deal with my enemies. I don't turn the other cheek. I raise my sword up for peace. Because if I cut the head off my enemy, then I will truly have peace. So I go to war for peace. If I debate an individual, I debate them for peace. Because how can two walk together if they don't agree? How can we have peace if we don't agree? So if you're a Christian and you're a Muslim and you're a Jew and you're a black Hebrew Israelite, we cannot have peace because we don't agree. So we have to find an avenue of agreement. We have to create a foundation that we all can follow. And that foundation should be the Torah. The fact that we won't steal from one another. We won't murder one another. We won't desire each other's items and special persons in our life. If we work for one another, we would give each other a day off. We would not cheat each other. We would not hold each other's money. But we would pay each individual that works for us, our employees. We would pay them before the sun goes down. We would not cheat our people. We will not stand there and watch our people suffer and do nothing about it. We will not place people over ourselves, but we are all equal under God. He is the God of gods, so we are all gods. We are all equal under the eye of God, under the intelligence of God. We give peace to our land because we know if we treat our land well, our land will abundantly treat us well and give us health and sustenance. And we know that if we walk properly, then proper will come back to us. That is Islam. That is Torah. That is Judaism. That is Christianity. That's all of it. That is Buddhism. That is Sikhism. That's all religion, because all religion have the same foundation, which is we all want peace. So we all need to come together and start pointing at those that's not giving us peace, and we need to attack them for the reasons of peace. The problem is not your faith. The problem is the lack of peace that we have amongst each other. So if you are a Muslim, I say Assalamu alaikum to you. If you are a Jew, I say Shalom. If you are a Christian, I say peace. At the end of the day, it all means peace. I say peace to you because I want you to say peace to me. I give you peace because I want you to give me peace. That's Islam. I reward you with peace, and you in turn reward me with peace. I say peace to you, you say peace to me. I give peace to you, you give peace to me. I give respect to you, you give respect to me. I don't steal from you, you won't steal from me. I won't disrespect you, you won't disrespect me. I won't do anything to disrespect you because I don't want to throw away the peace that I have in my life. in the peace that you have in your life. This is why I don't need someone ruling over me, because they're not going to give me peace, because they might feel that as if they're above the law or they beyond the law. And this is why it states in the Torah that the king of Israel should not multiply wives unto himself. He should not multiply horses unto himself, nor shall he multiply gold and riches unto himself, but he should read the Torah daily, all the days of his life, so he will be a righteous king, and not look at his title as if he's bigger and better than the people that he's ruling over. There's one law for all people, for the stranger, for the alien, and for Israel themselves. No one is above the law. The law is above us all. We are all under submission to the law. So there's no one above a rabbi, a preacher, an imam, a camp leader, a president, a counselor, my manager, the CEO of the corporation I work for. Nobody in my heart is over me but God. No inanimate object is worth me working 7 days a week, working my life away for some inanimate object. I'm putting that over my own life. I won't do that. That's not giving me peace. Working constantly is not giving me peace. That's not giving me rest. I can't thank God because I'm constantly working. I have no time to rest and reflect. I have no time to enjoy the fruit of my labor. You labor to produce good fruit. You don't labor just to be laboring. You don't work just to be working. That's a slave. We was brung out of Egypt, so we no longer have to be slaves. We are only slaves to the Torah. We are only slaves to the Torah. That's it. We are servants to the Torah. For Jacob, my servant. That's what we serve. We serve those 10 commandments. We got to stop serving these corporations and serving these religions. We need to serve those commandments, because that's what's going to give us peace. Because we're not serving the Torah, and this is why we have no peace. We're saying peace to each other. We're calling ourselves by the name of peace, but we don't have it in our life because we're not following the tools and the directions and the instructions that will give us that. We're still practicing Islam. We're still being repaid, but we're being repaid with the curse, not the blessing. That's Islam. To be rewarded, to be repaid by your conduct. So if we're not keeping Torah, then we're being repaid with the curse. So when we keep Torah, when we keep the word of Allah, then we will be repaid with the blessing. What's the point of making Hajj and making a pilgrimage to a war zone? Or going through a war zone? No, that's not right. We need world peace. We need togetherness. We need unity. So, if you're a Christian, anoint yourself with oil and speak to save someone. Because that's what a Christian is. A Christian is someone that speaks a good word and saves, the depressed and brokenhearted. You speak the words of peace. That's what a Christian is supposed to do. Speak peaceful words. Isn't this what Jesus did? Speak of the Torah. Speak of how the Torah and following that direction will ultimately give you peace. That's the word of God. Read Mark 10 if you want to understand that. The word of God is the word of Torah. For man does not live by bread alone, but by every word of this law, which is the word of God. So if you are an evangelist, if you are a Christian, then wake up in the morning and anoint yourself with olive oil and go out there and speak the good word. Tell the good news. Speak the Torah. That's what a Christian is. You're a Muslim, then that means you conduct yourself peacefully. You are an individual of peace. That's your walk, that's your life, that's your path. It's to stay at mental and physical peace, economic peace. If you are a Hebrew Israelite, that means you are separated. You are alienated from all other things than the fact that you are a mighty prince or princess. And you can only be a prince or a princess if you are the child of the king. And who is the king? But that is the Almighty. That is Allahi. That is Yah. So you are Israel. You are Sa'el. You are a mighty prince or a mighty princess. Alienated from believing that someone is over you. Alienated from worshiping other gods, other Elohims. You alienated yourself from that. You no longer indulge your mind in that. But you have separated yourself and you believe that within you is the power to prevail. This is what Jacob understood, and this is why his name, his character was changed. Because he knew within himself he had the capabilities. So being an Israelite is really nothing but believing in yourself and believing that God lives within you. When you pray, who do you talk to? But you go within yourself. You go within your mind and your heart, your understanding and your faith, and you speak to the Most High through you. And then the intelligence and the knowledge is downloaded to you so you can make it through your struggle. Just like Jacob had to prevail through his struggle when he knew his brother was coming to destroy him and his family. He had to go within himself and find the ability to overcome his struggle and to prevail. So that's all an Israelite is. A Hebrew Israelite is just separating yourself and going into yourself. It's like you walk off and go into a room by yourself. You sit there and meditate and you think and you talk to the Most High and you pray and you soak and you cry. And when you come out of that room, you're a brand new person with a brand new idea and a brand new strive behind you. A brand new ambition. And you go out there and you make it happen. And you give thanks. And you give praise. Because you went to your God that is within yourself. You laid down and you prayed. You balled up in the fetal position crying. Looking for forgiveness. Looking for some type of peace. Looking to prevail. To overcome your struggle. But you had to get to yourself. You had to get by yourself. This is why Jacob sat alone and wrestled with a man. That man was himself. We all wrestle with ourselves to figure out how to prevail in a life of struggle. That's what Israel is when you get into yourself and understand that you are the embodiment of God and God is the embodiment of you, because you understand that you are made in the image and the likeness of your Creator. So you have the same capabilities and abilities to do as the Creator have done. And these are the meanings of the titles of these religions. You are a Jew, then you are thankful. That's what Judah means, to be thankful, to confess thanks. You are a humble, thankful individual. You give thanks for all, for the good times and the bad. What does it say in Ecclesiastes? Thanks the Lord in the good times and the bad. That's Judah. That's what a Judite is. One who gives glory unto God despite whatever condition they are in, bad or good. For all is the will of Allah. All is the will of Yah. All is in the will of the Most High. Inshallah. So if all is the will of the Most High, being that we read Deuteronomy, we understand that He creates evil and He creates good. He heals and He kills. So if I'm going through a negative, that is the will of Allah. Thank you. I give praise. If I'm going through a good time, that is the will of Allah. Thank you. I give praise. That's what a Judite is. That's what Judah is. I give praise. So I hope this helped clarify what a Judaic Muslim is. And I hope it might help open the minds of a lot of us to stop dividing our beliefs. Because as long as our belief and our faith is divided, we will be divided. Peace to the family. Peace to the family. As I always like to quote the book of Bereshit. Through thy seed, all families of the earth shall be blessed. Knowing that, I say peace to all humanity. Shalom, shalom.